little imagination, if any. And I think that's a very big indicator as to what this really is. It's just more of the same.
Right. But it's almost scripted. It's like whenever there's a moment of quiet and peace and silence, then they trigger another one.
Well, they're doing it on purpose. You go from being calm to going to extreme fear. They like to swing the emotions from one extreme to the other. Now, when you say persons, let me just clarify this. This group that we're referring to are beings. Some of them are human, many of them are not. Okay, but you got to understand that we are a collection of 22 different races, our DNA. Okay, and folks, this is just what it is. We are a Heinz 22. We have all these different races, and if we leap from third density to fifth density, which is apparently our destiny, we change everything. We change all of these races because the energy that will come through us will go back to the home worlds. There is no way to stop that because it's a symbiotic relationship. And they're terrified, the beings who that are running this planet, who see this holographically, they are terrorized because they will be completely isolated, and then they're done. And then they're done. They will just literally implode on themselves because they cannot hold this frequency.
No.
So
they not only can't hold it, they can't tolerate it.
Exactly.
Yeah, they can't.
So it's remarkable. We are so more powerful than we realize, and there's so much more to us than we realize. Which is why everybody's here to try to help us. It's just, we have to step up. We have got to step up, and I've been saying this for months. We have to start thinking differently about our environment, about our planet, about our creation. We have to start thinking differently about ourselves. And all of this race war, it's all Bravo Sierra. What they're trying to do is keep us divided because that keeps them in power.
That's right.
All right, guys, you take over.
And Tolec again, and I'll be brief. Without interjecting any ego into this, and I mean this sincerely, we are doing something about this. In this case, the collective we is those of us who are openly discussing this on what is a non-commercial radio format. But there's only so far a small percentage of the whole global population that's listening to us. So we are, if you will, the vanguard of change. We're the vanguard of positive change by providing realistic, if you will, real-time information about what's really going on. Now, if you will, we're doing our jobs, if that's the way we see it. Now it's up to the people out there listening in internet land, if you will, to do their job and listen, if they so choose. But, Alex, like you've identified many times, each of us are sovereign individuals, and we have the right to free will choice. And it is certainly a question in terms of how many of the people on this planet are going to choose to evolve in part of that higher dimension shift.
We don't need everybody. We don't need everybody to get it. We don't. So we just don't. Very, very soon there's going to be some event, and it's probably going to be, I'm not sure if it's going to be Nibiru or if it's going to be a worldwide sighting of a fleet of starships, but there's going to be an event that is going to shift everyone's perspective. And it'll be from there that what we're talking about, these things that we're talking about, is really going to make huge leaps and bounds. It's coming. It's inevitable. I just don't know what it looks like yet.
So it'll kind of go from, the quiet chat rooms to public, vocal public discussion, serious discussion, debate about all of these things that we openly talk about.
Exactly. I mean, just think about the whole world seeing starships. We're automatically going to know we're not alone. that shifts the conversation forever. It does, and then we'll all be on the same page. And it really won't matter who's in the ships. Okay? What's really going to matter is the fact that now the conversation's changed and we all begin to see ourselves differently. So, that's huge. That leap by itself would literally keep the genie out of the bottle forever.
When people start asking, well, who are they? So those of us are going to say, well, which who?
Yeah, exactly.
Which ones? Here's our list. It's like, here's the menu. Which ones do you want to talk about? Which dimensions? Dimensions? I can imagine those first set of conversations. There are going to be some people picking up phones calling some of us.
Well, yeah, that's true. But at the same time, the conversation can be, well, I wonder what they think of us. And we can really seriously begin to look at ourselves because now we know that another perspective exists and they're not us. And they will have a perspective about how we treat each other, how we live, what we're doing to our environment. We can seriously begin to have that conversation because we know another perspective exists. And, that takes everything to a whole new level.
It certainly does. And this, Alex, is exactly the reason why we have you here. Because, out of anybody that we know, you were the first person, to describe that exact event of learning something from a new perspective, and how much of a shock it was for you personally.
I'm still not right.
Still reeling, yeah, exactly. And it won't stop until you're told all the